Esta conferencia comenzará a grabarse.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Manuel Garcia and I work for the Regional Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Sustainable Development in the General Secretariat of Agriculture, Livestock and Food. I would like to share with you why, what and how our Andalusian Circular Bioeconomy Strategy is being implemented. I will start introducing you our region and highlighting some key points. As you probably know, Andalusia, located in southern Spain, extends throughout near 9 million of terraces, approximately half of which are agricultural lands and the other half forest. The population is almost 9 million of people with a rural environment highly populated. Near 3 million of the population live in rural areas. It's the second largest regional agricultural producer in Europe, not only in terms of stand output, but also in terms of agricultural area. And we are the fourth largest regional payment agency of European funds as well. There are more than 300,000 farms and more than 5,000 agri-industries. In addition, Andalusia presents the 13% of the Spanish chemical industry. Our region presents an exceptional ecosystem for bioeconomy. In addition to the exposed dimension, Andalusia has some key policy instruments such as Andalusian Circular Bioeconomy Strategy, the rural development groups, as well as several technological centers to provide the knowledge in bioeconomy that can be supported with programs and structural funds. A very important chemical industry with a lot of capabilities and capacities for the use of biomass. A strong agri-food industry, well organized and structured, where the production of byproducts is an essential aspect. A knowledge ecosystem based on research and technological center coordinated with the Agency for Innovation and the Energy Agency. An extraordinary biomass potential.
Manuel, can you please put the full screen?
Sorry. I cannot.
I think if you press F5, F5.
Okay. No.
No. Okay.
You can press presentation.
Presentación.
Presentación.
No.
No. It's because it's open with LibreOffice Impress. So I don't know.
Continue.
I can share your presentation. Well, it's fine. Okay, you can continue.
Okay. Specifically, only Andalusian agriculture is able to generate more than 8 million tons a year of biomass, and the bioeconomy sector in Andalusia has a market volume of almost 30 billion euros and generates employment for almost 300,000 people. As you can see in the slide, regarding our positioning, Andalusia is mainly focused on three opportunities: olive, horticulture, and algae biomass production. Up to now, the main use of biomass have been thermal power station, biogas, composting, and animal feed. We have important experience in energy, and we believe that now there are more efficient technology to generate higher added value products following cascade procedures to make the most of biological research. There are several success stories in our region concerning bioeconomy, such as olive oil, biorefineries, and we want to promote the change in the use of the biomass for higher added value products. Andalusia was selected by the European Commission as model region to lead the way toward a sustainable chemical industry in Europe. Thanks to the project, we have received the assessment and technical support about this new industry concept of waste valorization, use of raw materials of biomass or greenhouse gas, and the production of high added value produced by means of sustainable process. Also, other European initiatives such as our association with the Biobasis Industry Consortium and the regional participation in several related projects have contributed to our background in bioeconomy. Some projects are ICT-BIOCHAIN, which recently finished and which we were coordinating, SIMBI, Rain Waste, and POWER4BIO, which dealt with bioeconomy strategic development and update. You may know some of them. The Andalusian Circular Bioeconomy Strategy is aligned with the following European and national documents: the European Bioeconomy Strategy, the European Circular Economic Action Plan, which suppose a page of measures, including, for example, for the European Plastic Strategy, the Spanish Bioeconomy Strategy, and the Spanish Circular Economy Strategy, which are near to each approval. Regarding the regional context, there are several plans and programs that play an active role to foster bioeconomy, for example, Employment Agenda, Andalusian Innovation Strategy, RIS3 Andalusia, Andalusian Plans for Research, Development and Innovation, Energy Strategy of Andalusia, Andalusian Strategy for Sustainable Development, the Strategy Plan for Agro-Industry. In our regional context, bioeconomy has been defined to answer the tech need as an economic model based on use and production of biological renewable resource and its sustainable and efficient transformation into bioproducts, bioenergy, and service for the society. For the reason, our scope is focuses on bioeconomy segment and activities with lower implementation, which claim for a higher institutional support to facilitate its takeoff and long-term consolidation. The Andalusian strategy does not include directly primary production and industrial transformation of food for human consumption, specifically sustainable practice for biomass production, promoting a resource-efficient use are considered. For example, the regional government is is promoting a specific measure to implement biodegradable strain for its use in intensive horticulture to facilitate the use of mass for composting or other purpose. Another example is being implemented to promote innovation by constituting operative innovation groups, which consist of a small consortia to develop innovation projects in a regional context. In that context, we have structured bioeconomy in 4 main areas: resource, bioeconomy in 4 main areas: resource, logistics, transformation, and markets. Including the different sectors involved, like agriculture, waste, storage, chemical industry, or pharmaceutical market, trying to take in consideration all actors of value chain to participate as the best way to collaborate among them and improve their role and performance in bioeconomy. The main aim of strategy is to contribute to growth and sustainable development by fostering action to promote resource production and biological projects. The 5 strategic objectives promote to increase the availability of sustainable biomass for its use through innovative treatment. Second objective focuses on raising the volume of bioindustry and biorefineries in Andalusia. And the third aims is to boost market and consumption of bioproducts and bioenergy in Andalusia. In this slide, we can see some milestones of the Andalusian Circular Bioeconomy Strategy, which has account with the participation and direct contribution of 4 regional ministries and more than 15 external experts of bioeconomy. The strategy structure follows the 4 main areas identified. It has 4 strategy lines: sustainable biomass production and availability of resource, infrastructure and logistics management, industrial transformation process of biomass and industrial capabilities for bioproducts and bioenergy production, and market development for bioproducts and bioenergy, and 4 transversal programs: communication and dissemination, research, development, innovation and education, access for funding, and cooperation, coordination, and strategy monitoring. The time frame is 2030, and specifically there are 17 measures and 39 actions to boost the bioeconomy development. The estimated budget is almost 1,500 million euros. Regarding the financial resource needed to carry out this initiative, we have a combination of existing instruments coming from different sources, such as H2020, interregional cooperation projects, the European Regional Development Fund, the Rural Development Fund, and our resource of the regional and partner contribution. A bioeconomy website, social media, and communication plan, the creation of the Andalusian Bioeconomy Cluster, a bioeconomy regional observatory establishment, a methodology development to quantify and qualify biomass resource indicators, the creation of hallmarks to identify products and process bioeconomy, encourage participation in European initiatives, promote a catalog of good practice and portfolio of successful projects, draft of law of circular economy of Andalusia. I invite you to join us in our social network, as well as to visit our website for more information. There you have the reference. Promoting a cluster in answer to meet the following needs: improve the cooperation and coordination among bioeconomy stakeholders, bioeconomy-oriented research and innovation, strengthen of bioeconomy sector, increase the awareness of bioeconomy, and 5, attach investment to Andalusian Circular Bioeconomy Initiative. We can summarize the roadmap of the Andalusian Circular Bioeconomy Cluster and follows. The first step was a launch meeting on November of the last year, where an expression of interest to join the cluster was delivered to all the participants. So far, there are 35 entities who expressed their interest of being part of the cluster, where almost 60% of which are willing to contribute with economical support. These entities include 5 big companies, 16 small and medium enterprise, 10 non-profit organizations, and 4 knowledge centers. After that, we developed the concept and planned a viability model, including a draft of the statutes for an association as legal entity. And right now, we are here in the discussion of governance rules for the cluster and its status. Next steps will include the constitution of the stakeholder association as a legal entity, which will sign an agreement with the regional administration in order to establish a collaboration framework. And the last phase will include the consolidation of the cluster having a clear income cost structure and catalog of service. As I mentioned before, we are working on a draft or law of a circular economy for the region. Our circular bioeconomy strategy deals with the organic part of the circular economy, standing out the green part, the agriculture, the forestry, and the bio-basis industries between other economic activities. And we want to follow forward throughout a deeply integration of all the economy sector and the research to close the circle of the whole economy. In conclusion, our lesson learned were the next one. If we do not communicate, we do not exist. So it is essential to carry out communication activities and involve the appropriate stakeholders that will act as catalysts of the bioeconomy. The second point is about leadership. A strong support and political commitment has been a key aspect to develop Andalusian Bioeconomy Initiative. Also, it's important to establish a framework of public-private collaboration with the most suitable legal instrument to ensure the implementation of the bioeconomy action. And last but not least, a multi-stakeholder approach involving all parts of value chains and also different value chain is key to fully addressing the challenge of the bioeconomy. I would like to conclude with one quote. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any specific question or need more details about strategy, do not hesitate to contact us by email, and we will respond as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Next, I will talk about the role of Andalusia in POWER4BIO. First of all, I will explain that the POWER4BIO project consists of, and finally, the role that Andalusia plays is it. Empowering EU region for maximizing the use of underused resource. The agricultural sector has a series of industrial waste that pose a problem. It is not only a question of providing solution, but also of taking advantage of this resource and providing added value. Support regional stakeholders to take decisions in the transition to bioeconomy era. We have to work together towards the change of model focuses of the circular bioeconomy and guide the decision that will lead us to this type of more sustainable model. Develop and update regional bioeconomy strategy in 10 regions across the EU. Each of the 10 regions participating in the POWER4BIO project had to a greater or lesser extent or is developing its own strategy and during the progress of the project chain and occurring that have to improve and therefore should be reviewed and updated. Develop a catalog of business model adapted to regional needs. This is a very important point, and each region has its own particularities, so working together and taking into account the characteristics of each region. A catalog is developed that includes the types of business models that best suit the needs of each region. The objective of POWER4BIO is to facilitate the transition from the current models to a model based on the bioeconomy, and to achieve this we are working on developing the tools and instruments to forge solid and strong regional strategies capable of giving rise to a sustainable model basis on the bioeconomy. As a result of POWER4BIO, new regional bioeconomy strategy and roadmap will be developed in 5 Central and Eastern European regions, and already existing regional bioeconomy strategy will be reviewed in 5 Western and Southern European regions. The activities in POWER4BIO are taking place in 10 regions of 9 countries, 5 regions with medium to very high bioeconomy maturity, and 5 regions with low to medium bioeconomy maturity. 2 more instrumental elements are part of the project: raw material availability and the status of the respective bioeconomy strategy. An evaluation of the potential of each region will be made, and from this catalog will be elaborated in which the different types of biorefineries and the bio-based solution they provide will be explained in detail. Secondly, different types of business model will be developed to link this bio-based solution with political and financial instruments. And finally, an online guide will be developed to assist in the development and implementation of the strategy and roadmaps. Finally, I will mention some of contribution from our regions. Andalusia throughout its strategy is working hard to achieve an economic model based on the use of production of biological research and their sustainable and efficient transformation into bioproducts, bioenergy, and services for society, and close collaboration between different actors to transfer the concept of circular bioeconomy to the academic field, trying to obtain a greater efficiency of the research and the process of the transformation into bioproducts, disseminating through different channels both our own knowledge and that of the different actors in the sector through webinars, social network, workshop, etc. We are working on a revision of the strategy for further complete some aspects. For any consultation, here you have the social network of the project and the web page. And if you have any question, here is the project mail. We're happy to answer them. I have only been involved in the project for a short time, and my colleagues will probably be able to answer your question more precisely. Thank you very much, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Manuel. Now we continue the presentations about Andalusia with Ana Cabezas. She holds a PhD in agricultural engineering from Córdoba University as well, having a large experience in the agri-food sector. And she's currently the Deputy Coordinator of the Andalusia-Agrotech Digital Innovation Hub, of which she's going to give an overview. She has cooperated with us for this event, and I'm glad to present her. Please, Ana, you may start. Thank you. Ana, we cannot hear you. Ana, we cannot hear you. Your microphone is off.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. Now, can you hear me?
Yes, now it's perfect. Thank you, Ana.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning. First of all, I want to thank the POWER4BIO project for this opportunity to present the Andalusia Agrotech Digital Innovation Hub in the framework of this interesting virtual tour. So, let me... okay. I can't. So okay. Okay. So what is the Andalusia Agritech Digital Innovation Hub? Andalusia Agritech Digital Innovation Hub is one of the biggest European regional ecosystems that seeks to accelerate, accompany, and channel the digital innovation hub in the agri-food sector. So this tool was originated in 2017 as a result of dialogues amongst the agri-food sector, ITC, and knowledge communities. There was a clear demand coming from these communities, and the Andalusian government, specifically the Regional Ministry of Agriculture, decided to take the lead, being the promoter of this digital innovation hub. So, which is our framework? Our context is that Andalusia is the second European region in the agriculture production. We have more than 300,000 farms and more than 5,400 agri-food industries distributed in the wide variety of subsectors, from the olives crop to fruit and vegetables. Sorry. Okay. From extensive livestock to greenhouses or sustainable systems, such as organic and with great importance of irrigation. Also, our agri-food sector export represents 20% of Spanish exports. And finally, just to let you understand a bit more, Andalusia represents 23% of agri-food sector employed in Spain. And there is also a need to optimize resources for green agriculture. So Digital Innovation Hub could be a very good tool for these new aims and new scopes for the agriculture. So let me share with you a short video that explains the context of the Andalusia Agrotech Digital Innovation Hub. This video, it was participated to the video competition of the Smart Agri Hubs, one of the European initiatives that we are currently participating. So, can you hear?
If you can increase the volume, Anna, please.
Sorry.
Can you increase the volume, Anna?
Can you hear or not?
No, it's very low.
It's very low. So sorry. Let me. I can't. Maybe. Sorry. We try. Okay. So we try. We try again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Andalusia is one of the biggest agri-food producers in Europe, with different crops. The agri-food sector digitalization can be an opportunity. Health and health. Andalusia Agrotech DIH objective is to help the agri-food sector in the digital transformation, offering different services.
Anna, it has
Agri-food DIH.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, the sound wasn't very good. If you can share the link in the chat, participants can watch it later on their time, because the sound is not too good.
Okay, I will do.
Okay.
Okay, after the presentation, I can share the link. Okay, so we continue.
Yes.
Okay, what is our strategy? Our strategy has a best value as the cooperation. For us, innovation is not possible without cooperation. So, to this aim, some of the elements that now are essential for our strategy are that we have a multi-actor approach. We need to put together the different capacities of our region to go for the most ambitious modernization of our agri-food sector. We now count on more than 140 members of the Agrotech ecosystem, representing technological enablers, agri-food companies, 70 competence centers of the region, as universities and technological centers, regional administration, social safety, civil society, and other stakeholders. Another element in that digital innovation hub is that integrate all interesting technologies for the sector in order to provide integrated solutions. Why? Because our sector, agri-food sector, is so varied and large that a unique solution or solution does not fill it all. And of course, we foster to use the data in the decision making. The promotion of the digital culture across the different levels, from farmers to technicians and specialists, as well as dual training in Agritech, is a key element too. But there is a public-private open space of collaboration that the regional Ministry of Agriculture, that is the regional government, is now promoting the digital innovation hub, doing it in a collaborative and jointly with the agri-food sector. We have also new challenge in the future. We have the Green Deal Farm to Fork to resolve, and digital technologies could be a transversal tool for this. So, what are we doing now? I would like to show you our services that we designed as Digital Europe program. One of these is the digital skills. We believe we need to have a skilled and trained agri-food sector for different levels, from farmers to personnel of ITC departments in the companies. Also, the professors must be trained for new profiles of hybrid profiles in agri-food sector. We also think that we need living labs to develop the pilot initiative. We name these living labs as test before invest, because companies, SMEs, needs to test before invest, because the technology is a cost for us, and we need to develop a very good solution for this. Technological, another service is the technological service. This is the adapted to the real context for the agri-food companies, as well access to open data from agri-food sector due to a lot of food being produced in our region by our administration and by other institutions, and we need to take advantage of that offer add value from there. For sure, funding is crucial to be able to develop solutions. We are trying to stay tuned on the different public and private opportunities, whether to promote them amongst our ecosystem or to take profit ourselves. As information is power, we have created a surveillance unit to identify strategic opportunities. And we are also generating a co-creation space for all stakeholders in order to facilitate the generation and innovation. Here, I also want to mention the Connect program, where we will launch 10 agri-food challenge of the sector. I will finally to saying that Digital Innovation Hub and all the service, the Digital Innovation Hub was want to be a one-stop shop. So all the service of all the members in the ecosystem, Agrotech ecosystem, will show in the platform. So thank a lot for the attention, and you have the social media links for your questions.
Many thanks, Anna, for your presentation. If there are no questions, we can continue. As you can see here in the agenda, now we are going to have an interactive session. So for that, I ask you to take your mobile phones and go to menti.com, and keep in mind this code 6574974. I'm gonna put it in the chat so everyone has access. Okay. And I think you are already there. As I can see, which country are you from? We have many people from Spain, obviously, as we are in Andalusia cross visit, Hungary, Italy, Belgium. I will give you a little bit more time. Spain is winning now. So please vote. So you can go to www.menti.com and use that code, that is 6574974. Okay, now you are voting. keep voting for another minute and then we'll go to next question. I'm gonna give you another minute. Okay, so now we are gonna go to the next question. I would like to know which sector are you working for? Okay, please vote. Well, we are gonna go now to the next. I would like to know from you if you think of any of these factors for bioeconomy development. And you can vote the 3 options that you consider more important. I will give you a bit more of time because this question is a bit longer. Well, I can see many of you have voted. And now we just go for the last question of this first session with menti.com. So you can type in these options to see which ones you think are the more important topics that we should consider in the bioeconomy.
Si está enchufada, sí, inicia apagado y suspensión, ¿no?
I know this question is more complicated, but well, for now, a new market development of bioproducts seems to be the most voted. Biorefineries and bioindustry seems unimportant. Well, now it's changed to R&D in bioproducts. So we leave another minute. So I think you are still voting. And well, we've lived here the menti.com session for now. Now, as it follows, we are now to start a series of presentations in the areas of biomass resources, logistic, bioproduct, and future market development. If you remember well from the agenda, our next presenter is Juan José Garcia. Okay, he's gonna start with the session related to bioproducts and no, our next session, sorry, is Pablo Antonio Garcia, sorry, is also Garcia. He's a chemical engineer and holds a master in water management. He has been the environmental manager at Citricos El Andévalo since 2012, and he's gonna present their strategy on 3-0 objective. Pablo, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Pablo, now you have the role of presenter.
Okay.
So you have, you can share your screen.
I don't know if you can see the screen already.
Not yet. Yes, now. If you can put it in full screen, please. Yes, so you can start, please.
Okay. So I'm here on behalf of Cítricos del Andévalo, that is part of the Garcia Carrion group. Okay, I will go to our group. We sell wine and juice over 150 and for value of around 1 million. We have 15 facilities in Spain. And the presentation will go to our Huelva. We're doing in our facility in Huelva for producing orange juice that is surrounded by 1,500 hectares of orange trees. By that way, what we do is that we can harvest and squeeze the orange in 24 hours. We can do it over 10 months a year because we have almost 30 varieties of orange. Okay. Here are some numbers. We can squeeze 2,000 tons of orange, and we can also bottle here the orange juice. We can bottle.
Yes, Pablo, your sound seems to come and go.
Okay.
Are you on the phone or something?
No, I'm the Wi-Fi.
Okay. Okay, I think now it's better.
Okay. So what we are to talk about our 3-0 objective here in our plant in Huelva. We are trying to get is we are working on waste, water, and gases. Okay, we try to get zero waste without recycling, zero water consumption, and also zero greenhouse gases emitted. But here in our plant, the orange juice that we get half orange juice, but the other half orange peel. Okay, so if we squeeze 400 tons of orange juice, we will get 200 of orange peel that we have been working to get this development. Crush and press peel, then we dry it, pellets for animal house. So that way, we a byproduct waste, and also we some more byproducts from the, like can be the pellets that, as I mentioned before, that is around 2,000 tons per year, but limonene that we sell it as an organic solvent, and we also get oil that we sell it for perfumery. What else? Water consumption. The objective here was to 100% of the water that we use in our facility, in the factory. We saw that the main water consumption that we are the cleaning procedure of pipes, pasteurization, all the for the treatment of the orange juice. This is the standard chemical cleaning procedure that we main with caustic soda, and after that rinse with water and cleaning with at the beginning, 10 years ago, was our standard procedure. But we have a problem with that. The sodium that is soda is the trees. The is accumulated and increase the salinity, and eventually the trees will die. Our cleaning procedures for the installation, we change the caustic soda for caustic potassic. So in that way, we eliminate the sodium, but also we change our acid phase. We change the nitric, but we change some of the nitric acid for phosphoric acid. So in that way, we eliminate sodium, but we will gain NPK. That is we use the water, but fertilized water to irrigate our orange trees. So by we use 1% of wastewater we generate, but we also PK fertilizers, nitrogen, phosphorus, and also potassium. And it's small amount, but we have achieved to eliminate 100% of phosphorus and potassium. We're already in the wastewater. And finally, zero greenhouse gases. Okay, what we do is in our wastewater tank. 5 years ago, we built and designed an reactor. So in that, we're generating biogas also from the wastewater, and by that way, we're by around 400% of natural gas in the factory. Before, when we manufacture the pellets, for the drying phase, we use also biomass, specifically olive pit. Okay, this is the social media, and this is my contact. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Pablo. We have time for one question if anyone has a question. Otherwise, we can move to the next presentation. Okay. So then we are going to continue with the next presentation, which actually I'm going to do myself. For those that arrive late, I'm Nati Perez. I'm Bioeconomy Advisor of the Regional Ministry of Agriculture. And I've been involved in the POWER4BIO project, but I've been working as well in the ICT-BIOCHAIN project, which I'm going to present now. Today, I will focus my talk in one of the main results of this project, which was the biomass resource platform. The ICT-BIOCHAIN project was coordinated by the Andalusian Regional Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Sustainable Development, where several people from our bioeconomy team were involved. This project started in June 2019 and finalized just last May. In this project, we were 8 partners from 5 countries, and it was a BBI-EU project. Just to give a short idea on how this project began, in 2016, Southeast Ireland and Andalusia were selected as model demonstrator regions for sustainable chemical production in Europe, thus opening the door to several activities, which led to the development in Andalusia of the Andalusian Circular Bioeconomy Strategy, as it has been already mentioned. And it also gave us the opportunity to partnership with Southeast Ireland and other entities to work in this interesting project, the ICT-BIOCHAIN. The partners in this project were 3 competence centers from Finland, Germany, and Scotland, 2 regional facilitators, one in Andalusia and another one in Southeast Ireland, and the 2 model demonstrator regions. The main objective of the ICT-BIOCHAIN project was to boost the collaboration between ICT providers and biomass producers to engage both types of stakeholders to establish business coalitions. Also, 2 main outputs were delivered: the methodology to establish digital innovation hubs in the 2 regions, and the development of a platform where ICT solutions and bioresource data are compiled. This is the main output I wanted to show you today. In fact, actually, the part with the biomass data. This part I'm selecting here. But where are these data coming from? Well, the data that are shown in the platform are part of a bigger bioresource model, which is important. It can help to development of business cases for bio-based value chains based on feedstock amount, location, availability, and cost of the biomass. In this way, the ICT-BIOCHAIN platform acts as a bridge among biomass stakeholders and ICT providers, as I mentioned. The bioresource models are done, one for each region, one in Southeast Ireland, another one in Andalusia, and each model is focusing in 3 value chains. It was developed by Ricardo Energy and Environment and Ibioic from Scotland, and the aim was to analyze the potential of biomass for biorefineries installation. If you go here to the project website and you press in the platform tag, you will see the platform has 2 sections. In the first one, you can find the compilation of ICT solutions, which was in fact part of one of the deliverables of the project. And in the second section, we can see the biomass data story, which is part of that model I was referring to. In this slide, you can see what you will actually see if you would go to the ICT-BIOCHAIN platform. And in the section for the ICT solution or examples, you can search, filter, and then get the results for these examples of technologies. Then in the second, then you can also get more details if you open down. And then in the biomass data story tab, there are also, well, some options. If you press there, you can start bashing some graphs. So then you can get some insights of the model for bioresources. You can select the region, the value chain. No, you select here the region, the value chain, and then you can get the quantification of biomass available for each type of biomass. You can also see a heat map of the amount of certain compounds of the biomass. And there is also a Get in Touch tab to contact us in case you want to get more information. Well, this is the heat map I was just commenting. And this is basically the platform where you can access online in the ICT-BIOCHAIN website. But as I mentioned, we have more data, so we would like, if you are interested, to contact us and to explain all the functionalities of this model. Just to conclude, I want to give some conclusions from this project. During the project timeline, we've identified that the use of ICT solutions is needed to boost the biomass value chains in the bioeconomy sector for biomass supply chain mobilization. Also, to Digital Innovation Hub as a regional structure for the development of the bioeconomy in a sustainable way by cooperation and mobilization of the main actors at regional level were formed in the two regions, Andalusia and Southeast Ireland. And this is able to be, these digital innovation hubs can be replicated in other bioeconomy regions. And for so, we have learning materials in the website, or also we can be in touch in case of any question. And the most important part that I showed today was the prototype platform with the biomass data model, both developed during the project timelines. The website and the platform are available for 2 more years after the project finalized until May 2022. And there you can find the long list of ICT solutions, the biomass data, and also, well, as I mentioned, the learning materials for any extra information. Here are the website and social media for this project. And well, this is also our actually email for the POWER4BIO project in case you have also any other questions. Well, so I finalize here with this presentation. If you have any question here, you can just say now. Otherwise, we can continue with the next presenter of today. Yeah, so I think we don't have any questions. Oh, we have here a question in the chat. I'm not sure if it has been answered. Yes, it has been answered already. So just to keep on time, I'm going to introduce our next speaker, which is from the COP. She's Nerea Serrano. Nerea, I'm going to give you the permissions to share. Okay. Well, Nerea has a degree in human nutrition and master in food science. She's going to present a talk about revaluation of co-products in the agri-food industry from the COP, as I said. And she's R&D technician there. Please, Nerea, if you want, you can start.
Okay, thank you, Nati. Hope you can see all the screen. Everything
Yes,
okay?
perfect.
Okay, thank you. So good morning, everyone. First of all, thanks to Junta de Andalucía to invite me to participate in this event. My presentation is going to be about revaluation of co-products in the agri-food industry through a second-degree cooperative. Okay, as Nati mentioned, I'm from the COP, and this company is defined as the largest agri-food cooperative in the Southern Europe. I'm going to talk about how we work in the COP, the relevance, some figures, our presence in the world, and then I'm going to focus in the R&D strategy, which I belong to. Okay, so the COP is based in 75,000 families of farmers, which associate in 200 first-degree cooperatives. And we can say that we are a leading agri-food cooperative in the south of Europe, also a leading producer of olive oil worldwide, also a leading producer of table olive oil, leading Spanish goat milk, and first Spanish producer of wine. Okay, so how we work. With these 75,000 families I mentioned, the COP facilitates its farmers all the necessary tools to develop the agricultural activities on the field. These farmers deliver the prime material to the first degree cooperatives, where that raw material is transformed in products of added value. And the COP, as a second degree cooperative, manages the commercialization of all these value added products on the global market, adding even more value, which reverts finally to these 75,000 families of associates. You can see here a small scheme how we work. It's a resume. So apart from olive oil and table olives that are our main divisions, we also have wine division, livestock, where we can have pork, raw material, input of ranchers, and also goat milk and beef. We also have the supplies and services division, cereal, credit, nuts, also dairy, and Pomace olive oil division. Where we are, no? All our cooperatives, as I mentioned, we are actually 200 cooperatives, are distributed mainly in the second half of Spain. Also, we have some in the north with wine cooperative and cereal cooperative. You can see also that we have one in France of dairy industry, some in Portugal, and 2 of olive oil in Chile. But our offices or sites where we work are mainly in the region of Andalusia. In this image, I only want to comment that the head office is in Antequera. I don't know if you can see my pointer or not, but it's in Antequera in the province of Malaga. And to know and to see how big is the COP, we produce 225,000 million tons of olive oil, 1.7 million hectoliters of wine, 100,000 million tons of table olives, and also 11,489 million tons of living pork, 43.8 million liters of goat milk, 1,830 million tons of beef cattle, and 400,000 million tons of cereals. So we manage very large volumes of all our divisions. And these are two different figures to see more the volume that we manage. In the first one, you can see the top three divisions that has more turnover, that is olive oil, table olives, and supplies. And then in the second image, you can see the evolution of the different turnovers in the COP from 1988 to 2018. But a key point in the COP is our exportations. These are the data from 2018 that, as you can see, is around more than 400 millions of euros. And in the map, you can see from 2018, the countries that we more exported were United States, France, Germany, and Italy. Okay, so now I'm going to focus on R&D department that I belong to. We work following different strategic lines that I show you here. Development of new innovative products aimed at providing health benefits and with high added value properties for the consumer. Also improvement and optimization of processes through technological innovation and the use of systems of the integrated control and management of the entire value chain, like big data, Internet of Things, the use of byproducts and development of circular bioeconomy. And also we work following to make the rural activity of our farmers and ranchers profitable through the diversification and optimization of resources, guaranteeing the end consumer the traceability and quality of their production. These are all the divisions that the COP has, but actually in my case, I work on olive oil, table olives, livestock, dairy, and nuts. I actually work on these ones in developing different projects. Following these two main strategies, use of byproducts and development of circular bioeconomy, and development of new innovative products aimed at providing health benefits and with high added value properties. So I'm going to show you two examples of these projects I work in. One of them is ActiLife, is food for a healthy and athlete population. It's a project carried out by several companies, as you can see here in their logos. The objective is to satisfy the needs and expectation of an active society. How we do that? We developed a healthy food adapted to the activity of the sport person and also organoleptically attractive plus an added value. We study different raw materials or co-products derived from production processes for development of ingredients with potential application in food products for amateur athletes that provide nutritional and or healthy value. In the case of the COP, we are working in the nuts sector, specifically with almond, also with the olive oil, with the stone and its seed, and also with the co-products of goat milk, which is milk whey and permeate, that it's from milk, but very concentrated. The different steps from this project is to define the nutritional needs of the athletes. Then we selected and obtained the ingredients adapted to different food matrices suitable for the activity carried out. In this project is swimming, cycling, and running. And also we validate the product in a clinical study with athletes. This image is to show you nowadays the different products of example products of sports in the market, like drinks, powder, energy bar. And all these steps are are related because we are developing an ECT tool for all the management with the food and also the sport people. Another example of project is Food for Stroke, foods with neuroprotector effect for active aging of society. It's also carried out with different companies, and the objective is to obtain ingredients with neuroprotective effect from raw materials from the agri-food sector. We want to demonstrate its effectiveness in the prevention of high-incidence cerebrovascular diseases such as ictus, which can lead to neurodegenerative diseases such as cognitive impairment or dementia. In the case of the COP, we are investigating and studied byproducts of the olive grove and also goat dairy industry. And specifically olive leaf, olive stone, the olive that we call olive pulp, that is a co-product from the olive oil processes, and it came from fatty pomace, and also the goat dairy. All these products are source of phytochemicals, minerals, and probiotics. So in this project, we characterize the selected raw materials. Then we obtain compounds with potential neuroprotective effect. We do an in vitro test to see the efficiency, and also we formulate food ingredients. We do an intervention trial, and then we study how formulate and design neuroprotective to put on the market. So there were two small examples of what we are working now in the COP. And if you want to know more about the company, you have here the main website and also our social media. Here you can see my name and my email address if you want to contact me for any question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nerea. Yes, if anyone has any question, otherwise we can move on to next speaker. Okay, so now we have the pleasure of counting with the director of CICAP, the Center for Research and Quality in Agri-Food from Córdoba, Manuela Hernández.
Good morning.
Good morning, Manuela. So I'm gonna give you the role of presenter.
Okay.
And now you have the role. So whenever you can, yes.
I
you
tried.
can put your presentation. Yes, there it is. We can see. Yes, if you can put it in full screen, and then you may start. Thank you, Manuela.
Okay, wait a moment, but if you see my presentation, no.
Yes, we can see.
Okay.
If you can just put it in full screen.
Yes, one moment. Aquí, okay. Okay. And perfect view. Okay. Oh no, my God. One moment. Quiero ponerlo en presentación. Pantalla. Compartir. Okay, but I have a problem with presentation with the moderator. I only want to see the presentation. Okay. Escape. Okay. Okay, good morning. I'm sorry, but I want to completely presentation. The first is thank you very much to Consejería for that invitation in that project in participate. CICAP is a center. Sorry. Sorry, I have a problem with that. Okay. No sé. Okay. That's helpful. Okay, so what
Yeah, we will see.
Yes, but
Manuela, nos indica uno de los participantes que si le das a opciones de presentación.
Sí. One moment. Opciones, yes.
Opciones de presentación. Y una vez ahí.
Opciones de presentación. Y una vez ahí, ¿sí?
Le puedes dar a la primera pestaña. Creo que es así. A ver, intenta cambiar la vista.
¿Tiene presentador? No.
Si no, Nati, ¿tienes la presentación, Nati? Quizá la puedes compartir tú para que Manuela tenga disponibles las diapositivas.
Vale.
Es que no me deja. Nati, you can to.
Sí, voy a compartir pantalla. ¿Vale? Ya puedes ver mi pantalla, la voy pasando, ¿vale, Manuela? Thank you. Well, sorry for this. Now Manuela Hernandez from CICAP will present.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. I'm sorry very much, but my presentation is a circular bioeconomy challenge and opportunity in dairy co in Andalusia. We are a center to technology. CICAP is a technology center for agri-food research and quality in the province of Córdoba, in Pozo Blanco, exactly. It's the north of the Córdoba. We are a private foundation, and it's partnered a public and no public. Public Universidad de Córdoba, Agencia Agricultura, and Agencia de Conocimiento, and the municipality and the Ayuntamiento of Pozo Blanco. The partners private and no public is several business agri-food. COBAP is firstly principal or fundamental, and another of the Iberian hand. Outward, and next one, please. Our work focuses on transferences of knowledge to companies, innovation, and quality improved service. We have laboratories equipped for the food safety and a laboratory for the diagnosis of animal health. We have a mission. We have a mission to increasing the competitiveness of our customer in the agri-food sector through innovation. Today is talking about a project with the economy circular bioeconomy, challenges and opportunities in dairy farms. Okay, we start with the project about 2 years ago, following the Ecocigan project. Ecocigan project is a Grupo Operativo Supraautonómico, AIE, and in this program, the objective of the project was to bring now and possibility and possibility of application of the circular economy to the livestock work. The project partnered a COVAP. COVAP is the Cooperative Agri-Food in Andalusia. Ingerature is a business of building economy circular, and CICAP. In this project, evaluate two scenarios about extensive farms and intensive farms. Extensive farm in this project, in the case of the extensive livestock in our area, represented by pasture, dehesa, production, a circular in themselves. There are sustainable systems with use of natural resources. However, in intensive livestock farms represented by dairy cow farms, the system presented more opportunities and improvement through the circular economy. The general line found in dairy farm is the first, the input and output diagram were made in dairy farms. Input, we have farms with resource entering food, water, cleaning product, energy to milking, energy to chilling the milk everywhere. But out, only milk and slurry. Only milk and slurry, but enter a lot of things. Waste is slurry, or you say the challenge, and the challenge waste, resort, and climate change. But opportunity, water, energy, and circulate. Slurry is an unresolved problem today. We build pit, water separate, and manure. The liquid part is scattered to the field for agriculture. Resource, water, consumption. One idea, one cow consumption in summer 100 liters per animal. That's a really problem in this area because there isn't or there aren't water. Climate change, cold have more and more threat by hot, by cold, the hotter and less raining years. To reduce this threat, have cooler with water, any consumption. Sustainability, livestock should ensure the survival of this model and has home. Generational relay is unquestionable. Opportunity, the project showed that there were several options for improvement. The main ones, water is a scarce good and must be recycled, reused, and contribute to recover aquifer. Renewable energy is an improving option. The sun and wind are not used. It's also explored the possibility of generating biogas with manure. The application of circular goods such as the technical service of the cooperative, the purchase of machinery between farmers, COVAP Feeding Center have a APP program for the partner with the cancer residue. They solve For example, the sale of embryo, etc. Opportunity, water, energy, and circularity. The next one, and then next one, factor to consider is necessary the water footprint and use of renewable energy. For this project, I studied the footprint of water on farm to optimize the consumption and highlight the reuse. The possibility of using the roof of the neighbor, of the installation, of the building of the farmers for installed photovoltaic plates and the installation of a small mill to take advantage of the wind. Continue to promote local farmers who have always had cooperation as an ally. Okay, in this area, water footprint. Water footprint, the green water, it is water for precipitation that's in storage. The blue water is the water has been salted from salted or groundwater, no, residues, and the green water is the water the wasted water. Okay, the first one, for the water green, food green, free action, rainwater collection control, installer is control to water rain, the rainwater. The second, cover surface, grid collector. You can see a lot of building in the farm is there are a large surface that color rainwater and not conducted into a tank. Design of tank suitable for maintain drinking water. This tank, you can see in the imaging in the photo in this fire is fleshy tank. We are tank that is very easy, is cheap, don't need previous installation, and the alone that the water does not degrade. We are designing digital sensor for control, for volume control, and for quality assurance. The second is the blue water. The blue water is a groundwater control, year-on-year index. In this area is Valle de los Pedroches, or the valley of the Pedroches, is a chronic drought curve, year-on-year, level to decrease. And this is a very, it's a main problem. The idea of the project incorporates flow meter to know how much groundwater we allow. This is very important because we are not able to recover the lost water. And the third element is that water footprint is gray. Differentiated. Here is some main problem in the gray footprint. The first thing has been to differentiate it in the discharge the water for cleaning. Different clean water with chemicide, with element to cleaning, and for all the life is water with milk. Okay, and to do this, different circuits have been installed and the milk water is separated without detergent for the drinker of the calves of a little animal, and the water with detergent is reused in the following cleaning. First, and the second is with the slurry pit. The slurry pit with different solid and separate from liquid. The solid, with the solid, it is dried, treated, and used as a bed. Do you know for dairy meal, the cow needs bed organic or bed inorganic, but in this case, in Spanish say a hot bed or dry bed. But it's good. It's good when separate this element, solid and liquid, solid, dry, treatment, and we reuse. And the liquid, that's the very important. That is a problem with liquid. Is where we want to propose a new project that's linked with the blue water. We want to make drinking water to recover groundwater. It seems easier, but it's a dream right now. It's a dream for the co-op and the TCAP. This is our proposal. But the idea is to work with research, engineering, and be able to create a model that converts water with nitrates, and ammonia into water stable for this chain. Biological water treatment continuum. Biological treatment is done by RAF. First is the can and remove solid. Second, the water pass to a second RAF when the planting of plant or algae with the capacity to capture that nitrogen and clean the water. There is a third phase where the plants for animal feed and remove and the water pass to another RAF when it is finished the virgin. It's the same thing. Consideration is being given to the possibility of the water first passing into a biogas tank. That is very expensive, but it's possible. And then the digestator going to the fast the cliff above. One RAF into first the camp and remove solid. Second, the water passed to a second RAF when the planting, o sea, planting of plant or algae plant. Lenteja de agua, lens of water for its capacity to capture that nitrogen and ammonium. Okay, this is a new project. That's the name is Rewater, is recircularity to the water. Okay, and for conclusion and finish that my presentation, summary, a few ideas. It's very important, the livestock of meal, the dairy meal in Andalusia. Environmental and economic sustainability, that's added. Environment and economy sustainability. They need resource efficient and then the circular economy as an effective tool. Currently in charge of partner for rewater, new water efficient projects in dairy cattle farm, in dairy cow farms. Okay, this all say that is a central technology of Andalusian. I'm sorry, but in this in this PPT I know but www.ccat.es. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. My name is Manuela Hernandez Garcia. I try to I have to pass my email to Nati, mhernandez@cicap.pound.es. Thank you very much. If you want any question, I nice to attend them.
Well, we have put your email in the chat in case any participant has any question. So now we can continue. Okay, so our next speaker will be Dr. Juan José Garcia, who is PhD in chemistry and has an extensive career in R&D in the private and public sector. Currently, he is responsible of new product development at Bioeconomy Biotech. I'm gonna give you, Juan José, the role of presenter if you don't have it yet. Yes, you are here.
I'm waiting.
Now you can share your screen. Okay, perfect.
Can you see it?
Yes, we can see and we can hear you. So you may start. Thank you.
Let me see if this is working, the full screen. Okay, now it's full screen, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank to Junta Andalusia for inviting to Bioeconomy Biotech meeting and allow us to present our sustainable solution in the framework of bioeconomy. I want to start with the presentation of my company. Bioeconomy Biotech is part of the group of Bioeconomy. This group is made up of 4 companies. Bioeconomy Biotech is dedicated to agriculture, Energy Clean dedicated to bioenergy, Agritech to the microalgae production, and we have a small company that is selling natural cosmetic in Amazon, that is CSLO. The foundation of Bioeconomy Biotech dates back to 2003, when the current members of Bioeconomy Biotech developed and commercialized the world's first fertilizer based on microalgae. Since then, our portfolio has grown at the same levels as our capacity to cultivate microalgae. Bioeconomy Biotech was born as such in 2010. Since then, we have grown over the year, obtaining various milestones in the innovation and technological fields. The case of our success is not only due to the team that makes up Bioeconomy Biotech, it's also due to the national and international partner, mainly technological center and research group, that have worked side by side with us, developing knowledge with industrial application. All these collaborations have been carried out via R&D projects. You have here several of them, which were mainly focused on the recovery of all types of agriculture and livestock waste as microalgae biomass with high added value. And also, they were also involved in the generation of energy from biogas obtained via fermentation processes from this, let's say, waste. Another important part covered by this project was the recovery of water for use in irrigation via elimination of inorganic compounds through microalgae cultivation. As the last presenter said, microalgae can recover nitrogen, phosphorus, carbon from water, from water that is contaminated. Let's say contaminated due to a small quantities of these substances. Currently, we are exploring the potential of cyanobacteria in this project as natural biopesticides. We are always questioned about why we focus on microalgae. Okay, microalgae are a natural source of proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, pigment, and other kind of substances. The contents of these substances vary depending on the microalgae strain. But for us, the more important part is that we have identified different components of agrochemical interest. Here you have some of them. These components are phytohormones. This is the typical phytohormone used in agriculture for biostimulation of crops. Polysaccharides and fatty acid, this kind of fatty acid. Polyphenols that will work as antioxidant and pigment. And all of these compounds, they have a wide variety of action over the vegetal development. Every strain of microalgae that we have identified is produced in our production plant, which is the largest plant in Europe dedicated exclusively to the microalgae cultivation for agriculture. The plant contains different open and closed photobioreactors. These are the picture of the photobioreactor. The closed ones are the tubular. The open ones, they are called raceway. And the plant is completely instrumented, and every operation works automatically. We carry out the cultivation of microalgae under sustainable standard of production. Every strain requires a specific input of nitrogen, phosphorus, carbon, and other macro or micronutrients, besides of sufficient light to ensure a proper photosynthetic activity. The generated biomass is harvested daily, and the supernatant composed by the culture media is returned to the photobioreactor in a harvesting loop with no waste generation. The only thing that we have to add is the nitrogen, phosphorus, of carbon consumption, and also some water that is evaporated. The harvested biomass is later processed in our manufacturing plant located in Pita, Almeria, where the procedures developed at lab scale are applied to produce our products at industrial scale. All the technology related to the processes and equipment has been developed by us. So the technology is our own knowledge. Okay. We are very aware that main problems of today's agriculture are the excessive use of fertilizers and synthetic biopesticides, which seriously impact in the environment and biodiversity. What we propose as alternative is the use of natural sources such as microalgae for the production of biostimulant and biopesticide as organic solution with zero residue. And as you saw previously, with no waste generation during their production processes. We have already found and proven via in vitro and field trials that our product based on microalgae formulation act as biostimulant at all the plant stages. Here you have some experiences in lab trials in germination. We have also proven about growth, stimulation of growth of vegetables, and also in the development of roots of all kinds of crops. Okay, we have also found that the different microalgae and cyanobacteria possess biopesticide action against different fungi and bacteria, which affect a wide variety of crops. In this one, you see how the inhibition of a fungus is inhibited due to a strap of microalgae placed in these wells. And here is the case for bacteria. You see this halo around the wells where no growth of bacteria is appreciated. All the information about the biostimulation of the microalgae and the capacity of biopesticide is incorporated to a library of microalgae that we have. From this library, we can build every formulation, every product in our portfolio to address a specific problem in the crops. This slide represents one of our prototypes based on microalgae extract, and you can see that the leaf is geranium, is used as a model vegetable or vegetable tissue, where a fungus, in this case is Botrytis cinerea, has grown, covering completely the leaf. And in this case, the leaf was treated previously with a spray of microalgae extract, and then the fungus was placed. As you can see, the fungus doesn't grow in the leaf that is treated with our extract. So this is a very nice alternative to the chemical biopesticide that they are present already in the market. We are also working in the soil biostimulation. We have seen that combining our product based on microalgae and bacteria, and depending on the format, the parameter or the composition of the soil, depending on organic matter, pH, conductivity, and the level of organic matter, depending on the content of organic matter, the pH of the soil, or the conductivity. And depending also in the sampling, if we sample the soil after 21 or 60 days, we have seen that we can, or we cannot, I will say that the soil microbiota is changed depending on this parameter to different bacteria genera. So the soil is very complex, and using biostimulant and bacteria, you can shift the microbiota with different consequences on the vegetable development. Okay, this is more or less a small vision of who we are and what we do. Our proposed model on sustainability and bioeconomy has been recognized, and we were invited to the latest COP25 summit. And we are also very aware and committed with the third world, and we are working with several foundations to improve the quality of life, and also with our own foundation, with the project, with the Medina project in Sierra Leone, where we have 40 hectares of rice, and helping these people to learn how to grow the vegetable. And we are also trying, or we are also having the plan to install an agriculture school there. And this is our website and social media. You can follow us, and you can follow our activities. You can also ask if you are interested in our product or in our solutions. And that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Juan Jose. Well, as we are a bit short on time, I'm going to introduce our next speaker. He's Jose Caraballo. He's industrial engineer and CEO of Aborgase Group, where he has been working for the last 8 years in this position. He has experience in the biosector, in the biogas production, gasification, syngas, and other process related to bioenergy from waste. So, please, Jose, you have the role of presenter now. So you can share your presentation, please.
Hello, good morning. Thanks to the Consejería and the Bioeconomy Cluster for the opportunity for presenting our company and our activities. Aborgase is a company dedicated to municipal solid waste management in Seville and the surrounding area. And according to the topic of the POWER4BIO project and the Bioeconomy Cluster, I would like to give an overview of our activity with the special focus on biomass, in how we handle biomass in our activity and how we are working for implementing innovation processes in our management model. Aborgase is included in a group of companies that we have activities in all the value chain of the municipal solid waste. We do collection of waste. We do the treatment and landfilling in Seville and surrounding area. And the process we carried out is based in recycling and composting and the management of the landfill. We also do the closure and degasification of landfill and the energy production from landfill gas or biogas. And we also have an engineering and consultancy arm to support the group. In the last years, we have intensified our collaboration with the University of Seville, and we created the Cátedra of Circular Economy because we felt that the environment is changing in technologies, in regulation, and we see an increasing sensitivity for these issues. So we created this initiative with the focus of doing different events with the industry and the academia, with collaboration with internships, some awards, research projects, etc. The model the management model we carry out is based in composting and recycling, and is very extended in all Andalusia. So we take the waste and we extract the product as much as possible. The inorganic is used for recycling. I mean, plastics, steel, aluminum, etc. And the organic fraction is converted into compost and material for the agriculture. And the rejects is landfill. And from that, we take biogas to produce power and leachate to be evaporated to reduce as much as possible. The waste packaging is collected separately, and in an automatic plant, we recover the same products, but with higher yield, and is managed by an integrated system that controls all the recycling activities. When we see that model, there is a lot of biomass in place. So the municipal solid waste has nearly 40% of organic fraction, which is biomass indeed, and the selective collection fraction, which is implemented in the city of Seville, but in a first phase, it has an even higher content of organic material, is 60%. So we see the previous diagram in terms of biomass. So we are treating 600,000 tons of municipal solid waste, which 40% is biomass, and we have in the area we cover the potential organic material can be 80,000 tons, and that means the production of compost and the production of biogas. So these two operations are where biomass is and that we are treating. With regards to the organic fraction, I show an overview of our plant. We first process is a rotary screen where we select the material with a smaller size than 100 millimeters, and that is taken to a fermentation area where it is 15 to 20 days in the fermentation bin, and then it's taken for a longer period of 5 months of maturation to produce the finished material that can be used in agriculture. With regards to biogas, the landfill is covered by a extraction network with vertical belts that we have more or less 800 belts, and they are connected to a extraction system with a blower that it feeds the 10 engines to produce power. Currently, we are producing something like 60,000 megawatts an hour. That is approximately the supply to an equivalent population of 55,000 people. And we use the heat from 2 engines to evaporate the leachate to reduce this liquid waste. What more can we do with the biomass present in the municipal solid waste? Technology, we differentiate the available technologies according to the innovation level. In that way, the organic fraction, we do composting, but with a higher innovation level can be applied anaerobic digestion to produce biogas, and in a more innovative approach, it can be converted into other products like bioproducts or fertilizer. Biogas, we produce power, and it can be converted into biomethane, and even in more innovative approaches, it can be converted in hydrogen or other molecules. In this area with the organic fraction, we have started this year a project to develop solutions to produce biostimulants and biofertilizer from the organic fraction in municipal solid waste. The activities in this project are focused to first isolate and identify the potential microorganisms to produce these fertilizers, and to develop a process to hydrolyze the municipal solid waste and to produce this organism. In this project, we are collaborating with 2 research centers, with ITENE in Valencia and with the IRNAS from the Spanish Research Council. With regards to biogas, as I mentioned, there is a first approach to produce biomethane with mature technologies, and a future approach to convert biogas in other molecules. With regards to biomethane, I show some figures of the dimension that all the biogas we are extracting is on a potential production power of 10 megawatts. if we converted that into biomethane and we injected to the grid, it could be converted into nearly 200 gigawatts an hour. And if that biomethane was used in mobility applications, that could mean an equivalent production of fuels or 20 million liters equivalent. That is a very significant amount, and we could even supply the equivalent consumption of fuel of the local fleets in Seville. I have to mention that the potential of biomethane is huge, but converting landfill gas into biomethane has significant challenges due to the purity of the gas, and that gas is already used for power. We are also working in the R&D area for converting biogas into hydrogen. We have recently started a project to develop a gas cleaning solution to be able to convert this biogas into hydrogen, and developing catalysts to be adapted to this process and use a microactivity reactor to convert landfill gas into hydrogen. In this case, we are collaborating with the University of Seville and with the CIEMAT, the Centro de Investigaciones Energéticas y Medioambientales y Tecnológicas de Madrid. Finally, just mention that I have told about our case, but the sector in Andalusia is very big. According to the Andalusian Integrated Waste Management Plan, the total amount of municipal solid waste is around 4.5 million tons a year, and a total capacity of biogas production of 32 megawatts. But the potential is very high, and the European Waste Directive and the Spanish decree mandates to selectively collect the bio-waste and to treat it separately. So it's a very important amount of biomass that has to be treated, but we have to take into account the challenges for the quality of the material, the competition, and the very importance of the cost in the treatments, and the public tender system for the waste management. That means that it is not an open market for the material. And that's just a conclusion. The main ideas, the biomass that we are managing in our MSW activity is mainly biogas and organic fraction. The technologies that are available and under development for the treatment of organic fraction and biogas, and the high potential of the bio waste from the waste sector. Just thanks for your attention, and my email if there is further questions.
Well, thank you very much, Jose. I think, well, we don't have much time for questions now, but we can discuss later during the round table. So now we are approaching the end of the sessions. Now we are going to continue with some projects that have worked in the market development area. Next, we have Marta Macías from CTA, where she's a business development senior consultant, and she holds a master on chemical engineering and has more than 10 years experience with positions in in Kirchhoff Institute of Berlin and the University of Sevilla. Marta, I think you are there. I'm going to give you the role of presenter.
Okay, thank you, Nati.
Okay, so now you can share the presentation. Perfect. We can see. Thank you very much, Marta.
Excellent. So, full screen now? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, just a second. It should be ready now.
Yes.
Is it okay now?
Yes, Marta, it's perfect.
Okay, excellent. So I'll do my best and try to be as quick as possible. So this is a BioSwitch project. It's a BDI funded project. It's about raising awareness among brand owners from the chemistry, forestry, food and agro sectors, so they can turn their products into bio-based products. So when we shaped the proposal, I cannot go ahead. Okay, now. So when we were shaping the proposal, we had to face several challenges. Firstly, we had to find a proper way to answer all the demands from the brand owners, especially how to address these risks that they perceive when switching to bio-based strategies or approaches. Also, there was a lack of identification of the different advantages, incentives, and motivation that were relevant for the brand owners. And in addition, there was a real need in the society and in the bio-based industry of a framework that were able to incentivize and motivate brand owners to switch to bio-based. So with this context, we came up with this proposal, and our main aim is to encourage and support brand owners in their transition to bio-based approaches. So in order to achieve this, we designed two main pillars that compose a holistic systemic approach. And the first pillar is a framework where the brand owner is right at the center of a triangle, let's say, that gathers bio-based industry, consumers, and public administration. And the second pillar is a toolbox, the BioSwitch toolbox, which is the ultimate instrument that will assist brand owners when switching to bio-based approaches. So here you can find a brief overview of the project objectives. First, the first objective is to develop a network of brand owners so we can interact with them, discuss with them about their needs, their perceived risks, which are their motivation and their drivers when switching to bio-based approaches. Then, using this information, we will deliver this BioSwitch toolbox. Of course, this BioSwitch toolbox have to be validated by brand owners because they are like the end users of the toolbox, so their feedback is really important in order to make something that is useful for them. So after this validation process, we will provide the final version of this BioSwitch toolbox, and that toolbox will be rolled out over Europe through trainer events, regional workshops, and that kind of communication actions. And finally, of course, to disseminate and exploit as much as possible the results of the project. So here you can find the concept of the project at a glance. So from the left to the right side, you can find the brand owners at the center of this triangle I was talking about before. And we have also included an online platform in order to gather and to capture the feedback from consumers and how is their behavior regarding bio-based products, because at the end, the consumer behavior is a huge driver in all the decisions taken by the brand owners. So we have this framework where we can communicate with the key actors in this process. And on the other hand, we have at the bottom, you can see that literature analysis, other BBI project funded project results. And with that information, we are conducting a mapping and analysis exercise. So we can gather on the one hand information and on the other hand the key actors in a pan-European cooperation workshop. So we can have a hint about which are the needs from brand owner sides regarding the toolbox development. Sorry, and you can see there the toolbox. We have created a BioSwitch readiness level because we want to develop a tailored, customized toolbox, not just a bunch of materials that you get a little bit crazy because you don't know which one is the one that is most suitable for you. So through this readiness level is a simple small test that you can conduct. You will have like your qualification in this transition to bio-based approaches and products. So for those basketball fans, you will be familiar, I guess, with these terms: rookie, which is a brand owner that is almost starting and has no knowledge about bioeconomy; players, which are brand owners that have done some or have conducted some steps towards this transition, but are not there yet. And then we have the MVP, most valuable player. These are brand owners that have completed this transition to bio-based approaches and that could be pointed out as case studies or someone to learn from in the bioeconomy area. So once the toolbox is ready, on the right side, you can see that we will validate it in several sectors like chemistry, forest, food, and agro. And once the BioSwitch toolbox is fully validated, we will go to the regions, we will spread the word about the toolbox, we will conduct a lot of trainer seminars, training materials, regional workshops, and that kind of stuff. So here you can have a closer look to the tool and which are the tools that are allocated to each level, let's say, of BioSwitch readiness level. So we have there tools for communication, both to external and internal sites, because when you are transitioning to bioeconomy, it's not important. It's not only important to give the message that you are working there to your consumers, but also to your workers, so they can commit with this transition that is going on inside your organization. We have also tools, for example, for building the value chain, which we know it's really, really complicated sometimes for some brand owners, and at a higher level for these consolidation tools. We have, for example, tools related to open innovation, how to promote intra-entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship programs and that kind of stuff. So as you can see, it's a very thoughtful toolbox. It has almost a tool for every kind of brand owner in this journey when transitioning to bio-based products and approaches. So here is the methodology that we are following. So first stage is, as I was saying before, a mapping and analysis exercise. This exercise will give us enough information in order to go to stage 2, so we can develop this toolbox. In stage 3, we will be validating this toolbox. We will test the different tools with real brand owners that they have volunteered in order to be part of this testing group. Later in the presentation, I will give you some information, so if you are interested, you can join us in this validation of the toolbox. And then finally, once the toolbox is ready, we will have these workshops in the different regions, and we will also have a strong focus on train the trainers, because at the end, is they the ones that can act as real multipliers when spreading the word about BioSwitch toolbox. So in the frame of the project, we will be working with 4 flagship brand owners. We have selected these companies because they are like, someone to imitate, someone to follow up in this transition to bio-based approaches. On the Spanish side, CTA will be working with Grupo La Caña. I guess tomorrow you will have the chance to listen to Beatriz from Grupo La Caña. So they are a very interesting brand owner. And in the frame of the project, we will analyze for them some sustainability approaches in this transition journey. Also, we have FASER from Finland, NOPA Nordic, and also from the EU. So here are the key impacts of the project. This is what we are aiming for. So we will raise brand owners' interest in switching to bio-based approaches or technologies or strategies. We will enhance brand owners' involvement in the bio-based industry. And of course, we will increase marketability of bio-based alternatives by fostering this consumer awareness, because as part of the different dissemination and communication actions we're seeing in the project, we will be also targeting consumers. So as I was saying before, during the whole project, we will have a lot of interaction with brand owners. This past summer, we have this survey where we were trying to capture the feedback of brand owners. So during the following months, we will be developing this toolbox, and then we will have these trials. So for these trials and tests, we will need brand owners. So if you want to join us, please feel free to check the project website and leave a message there. The brand owners involved in the testing of the tool, of course, they will have an advantage position when learning about BioSwitch results. They will be part of this network that we are creating, and of course they will have preferred access to this knowledge and tools that will be generated. So that's all from my side. There you can see the partners from the project. And as I said before, please feel free to check the website, send us an email if you are interested, or if you identify any potential cooperation opportunity, and we will be very happy to hear from you. That's all from my side, Nati.
Thank you very much, Marta. Now, to finalize this session, we have a presentation from the rain waste project. We have Samir Sajadi and Fatima Rojas from Ifapa Research Center here. Samir or Fatima, are you going to be talking, the two of you?
Hi, Nati. Good afternoon. It will be me who will present the rain waste project.
Okay, perfect. So I will introduce you, Fatima Rojas from Ifapa, as I just mentioned. She's a chemical engineer and PhD in civil engineering. She has been a researcher in this project. Fatima, you can start.
Okay, thanks. Just a minute, I will try to share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. Just a second. I want to minimize the. Okay. Is there any way for me to close all these windows? Okay. Just a minute, please. Okay. Good afternoon to all of you. I will try to introduce you to Rain Waste Project, which we are performing in collaboration with other European countries from Ifapa in Andalusia, in Spain. And I will try to let you know about what we are doing in this project, specifically for the greenhouse horticultural sector. And I will tell you about the pilot test we have performed from the primary sector. First of all, Rain Waste is the acronym for remanufacture the food supply chain by testing innovative solutions for zero inorganic waste. When we talk about inorganic waste, we refer to non-biological waste, just as plastic, glass, and paper. Although they are not, if we are chemically orthodox, they are not inorganic, but we have kept the classification that ordinary citizens know. It's a 3 years project with a budget of 2.5 million euros, and 3 countries are involved and 3 value chains. Spain with Andalusia, France with Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur, and Emilia-Romagna in Italy. With greenhouse horticultural, value chain, meat supply chain, and dairy supply chain, respectively. And this is a project funded by Interreg Mediterranean program. It's funded with ERDF funds, and this program promotes the sustainable development of Mediterranean regions. These are the 3 regions, as I was saying, and we are going to focus on the southeast of Andalusia, especially Granada and Almeria, and the production of greenhouses. I'm sorry, just about this icon here. Well, sorry for the icon in the middle of the picture. This is a mistake. If you look at the picture on the screen, some of you may think that you are seeing mountains with snow or something, but this white shade seems to be snow, but it's not. This is the so-called plastic sea, which is an area of around 30,000 hectares. It's a very small area, which is almost completely covered by greenhouses. This is the way that greenhouses look from above. And if you get close to them, you will be impressed because they are mostly made of plastic. If you, sorry, just a minute. Sorry. If you look at the greenhouses from the outside, you will see mainly plastic, as I was saying, plastic on the walls, plastic on the ceiling, plastic everywhere. And even you may think that these are rudimentary structures, but they are not. They are very far from being rudimentary. They are quite efficient, and they are an example of dynamic horticulture and agriculture all over the world. But as I was telling before, plastic is highly used. It's even used for tying up the plants. You can see here the tomato plants. This is an example of intensive horticulture, and therefore plants need support. And for supporting plants, we also use plastic strings. And this is one of the things, of the Achilles heels that the sector needs to overcome. Let me tell you some data about the sector. The surface cover is 35,000 hectares, but this relatively small surface produces more than 3 million tons per year of vegetables. It's 1/4 of total Spanish production of vegetables, and 70% of the total is exported, mainly to Northern Europe. And this is agriculture based on small farming. Farmers have around 2 or 2.5 hectares. So small producers are able to generate a great production of vegetables. And as I told you before, one of the main problems is the production of inorganic waste, especially plastic. This sector produces every year almost 2 million tons of vegetable waste. But even when the inorganic or non-vegetable waste is very small, the volume is high. This means around 90,000 tons per year, and 60% is approximately is plastic. So the main problems are high plastic dependence, in general, high consumables dependence. Plastic is used for covering, for mulching, for plant staking, for a lot of things. And another problem is the high seasonality of waste. This means that you can have long cycle crops that last 8 months, and this means that after 8 months you have a great amount of waste, but during these 8 months you almost have nothing. Also, another problem is that the vegetable waste are mixed with plastic waste. Traceability is lost often, and destination is uncertain after carriers. And there's a lack of alternative for proper waste management from a legal point of view. For example, there are no EPR systems for certain inputs, for example, for mulching and disinfection plastic films. So in rain waste project, we have performed 5 pilot tests, which are the ones you can see on the screen. The first 2 refer to agricultural practices, to the replacement of conventional materials for alternative materials for plants taking raffia and for plastic mulching. The third one tries to recover the energy of the so-called difficult to manage waste. The fourth one is the application of documentary traceability to waste management. And finally, comparison of different associative waste management models to this issue. So the first one is called use of alternative materials for plants taking raffia. As I said at the beginning, we need raffia strings for tidying up plants, for giving plants support. So the material commonly used for raffia is polypropylene, and we propose to use an alternative raffia made of natural material, jute, and this material is completely compostable. And we propose also the use of a second material, a second compostable raffia, based on partially bio-based materials. And just let me tell you, as the previous presenter has mentioned Grupo La Caña, that Beatriz will participate tomorrow. I want to thank from here the participation of La Caña in this pilot test. We consider we have been quite successful. Maybe she will mention this project tomorrow. The second pilot is the use of alternative materials for plastic mulching. Mulching is a very consolidated practice that consists of covering the soil with a plastic film. It's normally plastic, low-density polyethylene. And this material is used for preventing weeds, for preserving soil humidity and soil temperature, and definitely it's very important for improving productivity. So we propose the use of an alternative compostable material that can be removed after the campaign and taken to a composting plant to obtain compost. Or we can use an in-soil biodegradable plastic that it needs an microorganisms inoculum that's added. It's mixed with the plastic and incorporated to the soil as soil conditioner. The third pilot consists of recovering energy from plastic, mainly plastic waste that, as you know, have a great volatile organic carbon content, and so it can be used for achieving a high quality fuel or a source for other products. And we propose this alternative to conventional waste management channels that sometimes are not successful and derive in plastic abandon, as you can see in the picture. The fourth one is the application of a documentary traceability model to waste management. Waste goes from the farmer to a waste transport or carrier, then it arrives at an intermediate waste management plant, and to a final recycler normally. Well, in these four pathways, we have observed that sometimes traceability is lost, and so we propose 2 alternatives to avoid this happening. And finally, we take advantage of a characteristic of this sector. As I said, the farms are very small, 2 hectares or 2.5 hectares maximum, and so farmers tend to associate in order to commercialize their products and to achieve better results, better marketing results. So we propose to take advantage of this trend of the sector and use this trend to association for waste management to apply these models also for waste management. with an increasing level of complexity and commitment. So we propose different alternatives. I apologize for not going into detail with these pilots, but the time is limited, as you know. And I will tell you some of the general conclusions of the project. The use of alternative materials for soil mulching and for plant staking is technically feasible, although COVID-19 pandemic has affected our project very much, and mechanical and biodegradation tests are still pending. We performed an adoption analysis among farmers from the sector, and this analysis has allowed us identifying limited and favorable factors that will be used for future policy design. And we have also evaluated the cost of the alternative materials that currently is much higher than conventional materials. We are hopeful that with economies of scale, these prices will be cheaper. But in spite of this, illegal abandon prevention and penalty avoidance, together with the opening of new marketing opportunities for farmers, will be advantages for the sector. And finally, social and environmental impact of the alternatives are very positive because they improve the employment in the area and they directly benefit the environment. So we think that improper management risk will be considerably reduced after rain waste. And that's all on my side. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Fatima. Well, we are a bit delayed, so I'm just gonna share with you some questions that we had prepared using menti.com. So I ask you again to open menti.com in your mobile phones. I think you can see the questions, the last question we had earlier on. So the next question now, which one do you think are the main barriers in the bioeconomy development? You can vote. Well, as we don't have much time, I will just go to the last question. Please, if you can share with us some ideas to further expand the bioeconomy, we want to use some of these insights to start the roundtable discussion that we will have after the break. So if you want to share some of your ideas, please. It's interesting. I can see that some of the ideas already shared go from cooperation, funding at regional level. The market is very important, as we have seen also with the last speakers' ideas. Yeah, give a voucher to those companies that want to set up a pilot demonstration to purchase engineering services. Yeah, some interesting ideas here. Efficiency of the process, funding, support from the government, from the administration. We have seen that the public support is very important. and the regulatory framework. Well, as you may be tired because we've been talking here from 10 a.m., we can go and have a small break. It's 12:52. We can be back at 1. So at least you can move a little bit, and we will be back at 1 to finalize with the roundtable, where we will have an open discussion, and you will be able to share some of your ideas. Thank you to everyone that has been here until now, and see you at 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, dear participant, I think it's time now that we are back. Has been a very short break, but we are a bit delayed, so it's better we continue with the round table. For the round table, we have three speakers. I can see they are all connected. We have Dr. Berien Elversen. Some of you know her because she's part of the POWER4BIO project. She's a PhD and senior researcher at Wageningen University. And Berien, I welcome you. Then we have also in our roundtable Professor Francisco Egea. He's professor at the University of Almería. He's also PhD in chemistry and have a large experience in the bioeconomy projects. Actually, for now, I will ask you to share your camera so we can do this a little bit more personal. I can see, and then last but not least, we have Esteban Pelayo. He's director of the European Association of Development Agencies, and he's agricultural engineer and works with the objective of fostering cooperation, projects, and dialogue among European institutions. Thank you all for being here. And I'm going to share before some questions that I would like you to answer one by one. Well, I would like you three to talk today about how bioeconomy affects your work or the importance that it has for you in the daily basis, and of course the experience you may have in the bioeconomy. Your vision related to the bioeconomy in the coming years, and also this is related, for example, with the new regulations like the Green Deal, but also with the current situation we are going through with the COVID issues. If you think that the bioeconomy may have any important role, and of course any other ideas at regional and transnational levels that you would like to share. Berien, would you like to start? I can give you the role of presenter in case you want to share a presentation.
Hello, good afternoon or good morning. Maybe in Spanish time it's still morning before lunch. So yes, I prepared some slides, so it would be good. I'll try to share that. You seeing my screen? My presentation? It's very short, no worries. Just want to share some thoughts.
Yes, we cannot see yet, Berien, but I think it's fine. It will be soon, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know if it's not working. When it's working.
It's not working yet.
Okay.
Hi, Berien, please try now that I gave you the role of presenter.
Okay, I'll do it again. Let me know what you see.
Yes, now, yeah, perfect. Thank you, Berien.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I'll share my screen. Well, I want to share some thoughts. First of all, this scheme looks very busy and full, and that is really what I want to explain to you, that the bioeconomy is really a system. We have bioeconomy activities. Of course, the core activities are the biomass chain, But around that chain, there are many crucial activities involved, like the enabling environment, regulations, R&D, the food environment, the industrial environment, business services, and consumer characteristics and preferences. And that's the bioeconomy activities. But these activities, they influence and are influenced by socioeconomic drivers. So that's much bigger system in which we have markets, policy, science, social organizations, and individual actors. And on the other hand, we also have the environmental drivers that influence on the bioeconomy activities, but also the bioeconomy activities influence on these environmental drivers. So this is really, I think, the core of also the European policy that is stimulating the development of the bioeconomy and the circular economy. The acknowledgement that we are working in a system and that there are many actors involved and many activities that have to come together. So yes, I think it's logical that now that we are in this COVID situation, you can imagine that COVID has a large influence on the bioeconomy, and I think also it can be a positive influence. I think the COVID situation also helps to create a momentum for system change, because that is what is required to move to a circular bioeconomy. My idea is that through this crisis, it's maybe also wishful thinking behind it from my side, is that we are more aware of that we should stop depleting our natural resources. Have people are maybe it creates more awareness of how we live on this planet. Climate change impacts are increasing and more visible. We are vulnerable. That also makes clear, this crisis, how vulnerable we are, and that a healthy life has become more important, and that relates to food consumption, but also living in a certain surrounding, because we are all living in a small, we are more aware of where we live. Of course, the need to revitalize our economy at this moment is more urgent than ever. We need new jobs. Many people have lost their jobs. And we also need to do this in harmony with the natural environment. And I think, and I hope that because of this crisis, we more and more people become aware of these issues and start thinking more about it, and hopefully also start acting upon it. So my vision for the bioeconomy in the near future is that this can only happen if there are at least three requirements met. First of all, there should be a market demand for bio-based circular products. This means that this market needs to develop, and that requires awareness and action by both consumers, companies, industries, and also the government. We need to develop further our knowledge and R&D. Good information, good public-private cooperations in research and education is needed, and that can be facilitated by policies. But if you're missing one of the three, it will not work. And this applies to the regional level, the national level, the EU level. And this is what needs to come together. And finally, yeah, I want to share some recommendations and also barriers that can be addressed when developing a bioeconomy at regional level. So what we noticed in the work that we did for POWER4BIO was that a bioeconomy strategy really needs to be developed at national and regional level. There's a lack of transparency and policy coherence often in many regions, and this is often hampering a good development of the bioeconomy. Fragmentation of policy instruments. Also, time frame of policy is uncertain. Long-term vision and policy continuity are needed to build up the confidence of investors and to catalyze investment. If there's uncertainty, the investments will not happen. Also, and that has been mentioned by several people, but still, it's the key resource is biomass, and we need to sustainably mobilize that biomass to have sufficient and good quality of the biomass, and it's essential to build your bioeconomy on. And on that level, there are many processes that need to be improved. Cooperation between the biomass suppliers and the users. Many logistical challenges, the quality of the biomass. There is a lot of biomass, but how do we use it? Use also the lower quality biomass. We need research and innovation that really fits to the regional potentials. Every region is different, and that needs to be matched. Formulation of goals and operationalization of policies with a clear aim, and the raising of public awareness and stakeholder acceptance. That is also crucial. This is what I wanted to share. It's really also had some personal views on this subject, and I hope it will raise some discussion from you.
Well, thank you so much, Verien. I could not agree more with you. Now I think we can hear the views from Esteban Pelayo, please, if you may. Oh, we cannot hear you. Let me see. Esteban, I think we cannot hear you. Oh, well, yes. Well, in any case, while you solve this, we can start with Francisco Egea from University of Almería. Please.
Thank you. Good morning. Well, I'd like to give my congratulations for this meeting. It's really interesting. I've followed the meeting since it started this morning, and I find really interesting. You are addressing all necessary topics related with bioeconomy. Well, I don't know if I can I share some slides?
Yes, you have the role of a presenter, so you can share your screen.
I don't know where. Yeah. Well, I don't know why. I don't know how to do it.
You have the third button, the compartir pantalla, if you see.
Nati, can you hear me now?
Yes, Esteban, we can hear you then.
Perfect, for the next one. Okay, great.
Francisco, do you see el tercer botón por la izquierda que pone pantalla, compartir pantalla?
Yes. No. Well, it's the same. Configure the computer for
Okay.
to share the screen. Well, but it doesn't matter. It's just to clarify some point of view. But
Did you didn't send me your PPT, the slides? No.
Yes. Sorry.
Well, or it's fine, I think, because this is more like an open discussion. If you want to share your ideas.
Yes, I think I can just speak. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, I agree completely with Berrien, and I like very much her overview of the bioeconomy system. And what I'm involved with bioeconomy since the launching of European strategy, and my background is analytical chemistry, so I started working with nutraceutical, with some kind of valorization of biomass through the extraction of nutraceutical, cosmeceutical, or pharmaceutical compounds present in biomass. However, I also deal with the sustainability issues of associated to bioeconomy. In my opinion, it is important to focus the bioeconomy activities, bioeconomy implementation for a real implementation of bioeconomy, to start with several principles of bioeconomy. For example, and which are also related with initiative with strategies like Green Deal, European Green Deal. For example, for me, it is very important to bear in mind the local or regional approach of bioeconomies. There is a unique bioeconomy, but each local or region has a potential for his bioeconomy. And also it is important to foster bioprocesses to boost the production of bioproducts to replace fossil resources, which is in agreement with Green Deal principles. And I think waste valorization is important to mainly focusing to jobs generation. I agree with Berrien that this COVID area, with this COVID circumstances, the generation of jobs is essential to promote new business models, because another important thing is to address these local and regional challenges that bioeconomy has a potential to solve these challenges, to face these challenges. And for example, which are these local or regional challenges? Well, for example, in Almeria, where I work, natural resources scarcity is mainly water, is a problem, is a real challenge for our production system. Our dependency of mineral fertilizers is also very relevant in terms of sustainability of the system. And also very important is the vulnerability of farmers to price volatility. And we have local economies have a high dependency of a unique business model, which is production and commercialization. and this also produce abandon of inland population, aging of inland population, a disconnection with nature, a disconnection between inland areas and very richer area, coastal areas, and also a lack of investors and innovations. So, what is the potential of bioeconomy to face these challenges? Well, first of all is the incorporation of knowledge, technology, and innovation to the production system. And the jobs generation is I think, of the main aims of bioeconomy, and this can be achieved by fostering bioindustries. And this will diminish the vulnerability of farmers. For example, that there are good examples. For example, BioHorizon have presented a very interesting presentation with bioinputs, biostimulant, biopesticide. This boosts the resilience of crops and to stress, and it increases the efficiency of the cropping system. And also the biomass valorization has a potential for job creation, not just by composting or energy. These are very, very efficient procedures from the environmental point of view, because they eliminate a lot of waste. But there are other. There is. I see the necessity of link other processes that generate more jobs. For example, I find very interesting the extraction industry of nutraceuticals or cosmetic. I also find very, very interesting, even well, I am working now in a project like this, for the catalysis conversion of lignin, cellulose, or hemicellulose compounds of biomass to obtain bioblocks, C5, C6 platform, hydrogen. There is a good potential in bioeconomy in technology to start with activities like that. The generation of hydrogen is also aligned with the Green Deal strategy, but also all these strategies have a high potential of jobs creation, and also to attract investors and new technologies to this production area, like is Almeria. Also, alternative crops like for biomaterials and other compounds, like for example hemp, cannabis, are good alternatives to diversify the business of farmers and reduce their vulnerability to volatility of prices. Also, as Berian said, the valorization of externalities, and it is necessary to connect the inland with the coastal areas. And also it is very important the role of financial entities. For example, in Almeria, Cajamar is very committed with bioeconomy since its implementation, and it is helping to start new business mainly in the south and east area of Spain. And I see, because I'm very happy with this project with POWER4BIO, because it really addresses a lot of areas that I mentioned. For example, it is important to share knowledge between local and regional projects. For example, to share expertise in pilot plants. It is important to have a portfolio of pilot projects that are working in reduced scale, but maybe some entrepreneurs, some with business angel can start to scale these pilot plants to demonstration or even industrial plants. It's also very important to involve investors and share expertise of company managers because sometimes entrepreneurs need a kind of mentoring in this to develop new business. And also, and it has been already addressed, the transdisciplinary approach to involving farmers, value chain actors, administrations, researchers, consumers, communication companies, and establish a kind of indicator performance of bioeconomy. So I think it's all from my part. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Francisco. I think yes, you didn't need to use the PPT, the presentation. You had a lot of ideas, very interesting there.
Yes, I'm trying to present you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I like it also this idea about the job creation, which I think is important also to attract younger generations to the bioeconomy to make it as a new model. Well, in any case, we are now going to hear the ideas from Esteban Pelayo. Now, Esteban, if you want to start, please.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon. Sorry for the difficulties with the sound. If you could give me the presentation right, I will present a couple of slides, not too many.
Yes, you have it now.
Yes, I got it. Well, thank you for the invitation and congratulations because I saw many interesting presentations from different entities and especially I like the companies in Andalusia. I am originally from Andalusia and I have studies as well Erasmus in Wageningen, like many agriculture engineers. So I feel very comfortable in this roundtable. Yes, you cannot see my slides or yes? No?
If you can share again, I think
okay.
Maybe there was something because now it's stop. Ah, now.
Now, yes, no? What I'm going to share with you is a proposal to continue cooperation in the framework of your project. I am the director of an association. I am based in Brussels, and we have members in all of Europe, and we follow very much the activities and the ideas of the European Commission for our members. And there is an opportunity of cooperation that will be launched next year in June. However, you have to start working with that. It's something that we waited a long time. It is about territorial cooperation, but it's beyond policy learning. It's what we call interregional innovation investment initiative. Is for those of you who are familiar with territorial cooperation, is the famous component 5 that we are discussing since several years in the European Union institution. The purpose of this is to really operationalize territorial cooperation and to establish really cooperation on industrial or economic value chains. So I think it's a very good way to go beyond what you are doing in this project or in any other initiatives. The idea is to establish different regions in Europe together to involve not only the activities of public authorities, but really to implement things. When we speak about innovation, we say innovation is about involving the company, supporting cross-regional cooperation for innovation. It could be, for example, and I think it's very good to give examples here, territorial cooperation to use special pilot plans in different locations. Imagine that you have a pilot plan to use whatever waste that you have and you can reuse, or you have a specific installation. So it cannot be used only by the companies in that region, but by companies of other regions. or to establish cooperation. Imagine that there is a very good knowledge for whatever reason in one region. We have been seeing what are the activities and the knowledge that Andalusia has, and we want to match this knowledge or this capacity of those companies with other companies in other territories. So we could give voucher in order to establish a small project to help them to work together, or any kind of other cooperation that you could imagine, fostering partnership between big companies and small companies. But in reality, is to apply. Forget the policy learning. This is another generation of territorial cooperation. It's not to learn and to apply. It's to apply together. The budget is 500 million euros. We think it will be a top-up because the origin is going to be the European Regional Development Fund, so things related to industries. So it will be a top-up of what we are now discussing about smart specialization strategy, operational programs in each territory. For those of you who are working in agriculture or rural development, my impression is that if you as well bring this type of funds, it will be very welcome. So it will be together. The main actors should be regions, but regions as an umbrella of their local elites, so local stakeholders, let's say academia, technology institute, but among them, the companies. The companies should have an opportunity there. And I told you that this is the moment to start because this is a partnership that is not easy to handle and to be established. And for that, you have many possibilities. You are already very well positioned in the framework of this project, but you have many others. For example, you have the thematic platform or the smart specialization strategy. Andalusia is a model because it's a leading one about traceability and big data in the agri-food platform that as well has many connections with the industrial modernization platform. But there you have many partnership or regions that are discussing for years now how they could cooperate and implement. And all these regions are going to apply for sure to this call. This call is not published anywhere. This call is in a public consultation, and now the European Commission is designing the work program and how it's going to be implemented. But they have made a consultation in order to know what the regional actors would like to be, and that's why we in Neurada know and many other people. There are other places to find partners, the circular economy platform, or even projects like yours and activities. We have been in Neurada partner of the Screen Lab. It was a pilot project to work in circular economies and precisely discuss that, how we could top up with funds the collaboration in circular economy and among different regions. We know when it is very distant, it's very difficult to transfer for logistical purposes, but there are other ways to collaborate among different regions. So I'm going to finish it just to tell you who we are. We are the European Association of Regional Development Agencies. In Andalusia, we have a member, Agencia IDEA, very famous. And for example, in Wageningen, we have OSNL. So we have members everywhere. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this initiative that you have to already start preparing will be interesting for you. Thank you very much.
Hi,
Well,
Esteban.
thank you very much, Esteban. Hello?
Hi, I'm Sol Cuenca, Esteban. I have a question for you. When is expected to be published this new instrument for regional investments and innovation?
I forgot to tell you, but it's part of the package 21-27. So probably will be published either at really the end of the year, beginning of the next year. And the calls will be probably launched before summer, in spring.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, it will be managed by DIH-Regio. Before we thought that it was going to be Horizon Europe, so the people from research, but it's going to be managed by DIH-Regio. So look at DIH-Regio.
Okay, thank you very much. I share with you the public consultation. I think that is the right one. So take a look on the chat if you want to consult it.
Yes, thank you, Esteban. Actually, yes, this is something quite important, as, for example, now the POWER4BIO project is approaching the end, is finalizing in March, and I'm sure that other regions from the project and some of the participants would be interested in this call. So really, many thanks for your participation today and for this. So we have seen a lot of interesting ideas shared here today. If any of the participants has any question or has something else to add, here in the chat, I think there are no other questions. In that case, I would just do a short summary of what have been shared today, and mainly in this roundtable. I found very interesting because we had very different approaches from different people. We've seen, of course, a lot of bioeconomy examples that are currently in our region, in Andalusia, but as it has been highlighted by Berian, for example, in this last session, market demand, knowledge, and R&D development policies are three items that must be together, let's say, to develop the bioeconomy. And without any, if one of them is not there, bioeconomy cannot be possible. And as, for example, Francisco Egea mentioned, job creation to avoid the vulnerability of farmers and the whole primary sector is something that we should keep working on. And for this last very interesting ideas from Esteban, we must be aware of next package of calls and funding, because the next years will be challenging. And I'm sure we can discuss later, once we can think about all this amount of information that was shared here today, and hopefully start new collaborations among all the regions partners in the POWER4BIO project or other participants that we had today. Well, and then just to finalize then, I can see here that my colleague Sol, she has shared the link to register for tomorrow in case you haven't done it yet. And if you are registered, the link for tomorrow's event will be sent automatically. So in this case, just to finalize, I can only thank everyone that has participated today, all the speakers, all the participants in the first day of the regional cross visit to Andalusia for the POWER4BIO project. It has been a great pleasure to share with you all this event. And this visit has been organized to offer you the most promising and many already in place innovation projects and products from our region regarding bioeconomy. Today we have learned and shared many ideas. So I give you the afternoon to think about them, and tomorrow we will have a shorter day. We will start also at 10 a.m. Brussels time, So we will learn tomorrow more about the biorefineries, bioproducts, and about a research center from Andalusia working in the bioeconomy, a non-profit organization, and a platform that has been recently launched. So I can only say that thank you very much for your assistance. Hope you have a good day today, and hope to see you all tomorrow. And thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.